everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the 210 show. We're very happy that you joined us tonight. We got a couple things that we want to say. We're going to talk about some NFL, some college, some Jake Paul. All right, before we do that, let's get into introductions. This is Angry Joey.
This is the Hater with Facts. Merry Christmas to everybody, and we apologize in advance for the strays that some entities are about to catch.
Oh, yes, indeed. And I'm Mr. Raider, and I got my clip loaded. Not literally, just figuratively. All right, so gentlemen, before we get into this Christmas holiday spirit, let's go ahead and have a pissy spirit real quick. Because I plan to say some shit. So, but before we do that, let's tackle college football. What you guys got to say about that?
Oh, man. If you allow me, gentlemen, let's start with this here. Welcome to Belt to Ass first round week here. We had the first round of the college football playoff bracket, and though we had some competitive games that, the Alabama-Oklahoma game was competitive, the Miami-Texas A&M game was competitive, even though it was low scoring. But the elephant in the room was Tulane, Ole Miss, where that game ended 41-10 for Ole Miss, and Oregon defeated James Madison 51-34, even though it wasn't even that close. Let's just put it that way, okay? I'm gonna start with this here, and the first person that's about to catch a stray is Mr. Raider here, because last week you were the biggest component about the underdogs and the little guy. Give him a chance, let him help. Well, yeah, that don't look good for your argument, sir. I am sorry. This is absolute embarrassment, and the college football playoff committee look like absolute idiots for allowing those two to be allowed into the college football playoff, and I hope that this is the last time we see something like this. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. I said that Tulane was going to get demolished, but I thought James Madison was going to be competitive. Nope, they weren't. But I will never not cheer for the underdog when it comes to a situation like that, ever. So, I have to do some shots of tequila and burn my out and suffer the consequences. But you know what? I will go down swinging, going for the little guy. Period.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you went down swinging because it looked like maybe it was like one swing. I mean, I was confused. I didn't know if I was watching college football or the Jake Paul fight. But either way it goes, it ended the same way. The little guy got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm still a proponent of being able to have a small school in there so they can have an opportunity or a chance to.
Yeah, sure. But I think the way we go about it definitely has to change.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say Vanderbilt and Texas have a big, huge gripe to have, and I completely coincide with them on that sentiment. But now we enter into quarterfinal, and it's going to be Oregon, Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl, Indiana, Alabama at the Rose Bowl, Georgia, Ole Miss at the Sugar Bowl, and Ohio State, Miami in the Cotton Bowl.
So I don't mean to interrupt, but do you think possibly one of the solutions would be to actually separate the NCAA into different divisions? I mean, let me explain. Not conferences or anything like that, but divisions. So in other words, you actually have your tiers, like for NAIA Division I, Division II, Division III. Could that possibly be a thing to actually rule out, one of these schools actually playing against a high-tiered caliber team? I mean, because like you said, they won by attrition. They won by getting, winning their conference. But who's their competition? I mean, you think that what do you think that would have happened if they would have played Ohio State?
Right? Yeah, true.
Who?
Very true.
I mean, something like
James
that.
Madison?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, maybe you actually take, you don't want to take away their NCAA credentials, but maybe have it different divisions or something like that. Like a Division I, a Division II, I mean, and once you've actually proven yourself to be capable of, your financial support and your your competency about being on a football and being able to compete with some of those higher tier schools, then you move up.
Yeah,
So
I think Hater Effects had a solution with that. Because didn't you mention something about if we're gonna
a
have a
play-in.
12 team and then 4 teams like from small conference play each other for that
Yes.
last spot or something like that?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll reiterate it again. So we're going with the scenario that they somehow, if they want to expand the playoff again to 16 teams, right? So that slots 13 through 16, and you would have your rankings, the rankings of everybody that's outside the top 12, I guess, in that case. The next 8 would play each other to play for those spots. So and it won't be a full tournament, right? But it'll be they'll put 2. Okay, if you win, you get slot 13. You two, you play, you get 14. You two, you play, you get 15, and you two, you play, you get 16. And that's how you figure that part out. And honestly, just a quick caveat on this. This is why, again, I'm going to keep iterating this. This is why I preach for an 8-team playoff, at least for a couple years, so that way the college football playoff committee can fully understand how they want their criteria to be met for teams to get in. So then when you expand it out, the criteria doesn't have to keep shifting every year so that you can get this thing right. Because all it's doing is just making them look like complete and utter idiots. Because now they're gonna sit up here and gonna ask for the computer polls again. You know what I mean? And so in the world of AI as it is, do you really want to do that? No. Just get your process in place and get it straight. And if you got to do a fine tuning, you don't have to be for a huge ass audience and make yourself look like idiots. But either way, hopefully they'll get it. They'll get it right. I think there needs to be some very strong entry as to who sits on the CFP committee, because right now they just look like they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Agree. And that's
Yeah.
why I wanted to ask the question, because I'm right there with you, Mr. Rader, that everybody likes a Cinderella story. Everybody wants to root for that underdog, but let's just put it this way. They were not an underdog. They were a not happening type team. I mean, they could have played anyone in the CFP and still gotten their ass whipped by every single one of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
Um,
anyway, I'm sorry to steal your thunder there, Hater.
no, you're fine. You're fine. No, the only thing I wanted to bring up before we move on to some other things on the college side is the only thing right now that I don't agree with is why aren't the teams reseeded once the first round is over with? Because I'm not understanding how Ohio State gets to play the number 10 team, but Indiana plays the number 19. That seems a little odd to me, but I just don't disagree. I just completely disagree with that, because it seems like, Miami, at least based by ranking, right? It just seems like Ohio State gets an advantage over Indiana a little bit, and Indiana's the number 1 seed.
Yeah. You make some fair points there. That's a really good question.
Yeah. Hopefully, and just a case in point, like the Vegas odds. So right now, the largest spread right now is Ohio State and Miami, where they have a 9.5 point favorite for Ohio State. And then Georgia, Ole Miss. Georgia is a 6.5 point favorite. Surprisingly, Indiana is a 7-point favorite over Alabama, and Oregon is a 1.5 point favorite versus Texas Tech. So that's a little bit interesting there too.
I think Oregon's going to get their ass handed to them.
I agree that defense is much to be handled, but the only caveat though is, to speak to Woo Pig's point, is the fact that Texas Tech has had a bye week, and will Russ set in, or not? And then basically Oregon just got a warm up. It was just accelerated practice basically. So
Pretty much.
we'll see what happens there. But we had some. I don't know if anybody else had anything on this before we move on to another topic on college football.
I don't.
Nope,
Nothing for me,
okay.
man.
Okay, well, let's cross the elephant in the room, because Notre Dame yet again has put themselves in the news for all the wrong reasons. And today, or usually today or yesterday, the press release came out that the rivalry between Notre Dame and USC is gone. Notre Dame has not, they failed to reach an agreement to continue the home and home game between themselves and USC. And I'm not sure who I'm not sure who they're gonna, who they're gonna tab to play against next year, but I don't know how
Oh,
this helps their case. I mean, again, Fighting Irish, which I will refer to them until further notice, is again making themselves look worse than they already did by taking their ball and going home and not even participating in the bowl game. But they found themselves to make themselves worse yet again. But I'm pretty sure, given the fact we have a USC fan and a Notre Dame fan here, I will let y'all duke that out.
Okay, so my take is this. Notre Dame is hard to defend right now. I mean, I'm just saying, and I think I kind of cleared that up last week. When I was saying on this pod that I was very disappointed in how petulant they came out and how they reacted. I, Losing this USC rivalry. Well, what kind of rivalry are they going to have now? I mean, because they're not in a conference. They don't have anybody to really challenge them, that's of any value whatsoever. How are they going to be able to justify any kind of a bowl bid? How are they going to be able to justify the CFP? I mean, they're effectively screwing themselves in so many different ways. It's unbelievable. I mean, what about the fan base? What is there to cheer for against BYU? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, dude. Give us something, I mean, if you refuse to actually, get into a conference, then play some meaningful games. Because this last year they didn't really do that. I mean, aside from USC, who was on the downslope this last year, and that being a rivalry game, but the games that they lost, or excuse me, the two meaningful games that they did play were against meaningful teams, A&M and Miami. Now what? Do you think that anybody's going to be willing to entertain the thought of actually playing those guys? They're going to be like, "Oh, fuck you guys." I mean, who are you? You're playing against BYU as being your big targets. So
exactly.
I don't understand what in the world they're thinking, what they're doing, and it's very disappointing. And here's another thing. What do you think that's going to do with Marcus Freeman? You don't think that this man is actually being approached by NFL teams and other college teams? The rumor out there is that he's even been approached by Michigan. Can you imagine Marcus Freeman actually going to God blessed Michigan? That will just, I mean, what?
Irony at its finest.
Motherfuckers. I mean, okay, you want a rivalry there. Okay, there it is, but at the same time, I mean, at the same time, this is gonna be like, well, we got your dude, I mean, who are you, bitch? So but so I am being a Notre Dame fan, it's hard these last few weeks, I mean, just with them. Did they get kind of shanked and getting out of the playoffs? Kind of, sort of. But now they're really proven, in my mind, that they didn't deserve to be in there in the first place. I mean, I think a little bit of integrity. I think a little bit of I don't know, a little bit more grit, and especially backing from your leadership is sadly missing. Outside of course Freeman. But I have no defense for my Irish. I really don't. I mean, it's very, very disappointing. It's very disheartening. And I think that they're going to be going into the dark ages very soon.
Okay.
Mr. Rader, before you go, I just wanna add this little tidbit here. BYU in their schedule from this year, they played two ranked teams. They averaged offensively 7 points. Go ahead.
You see, I was trying to be calm until you got let me just hold on. I need a minute. All right. So let's start with let me just start with the question that Angry Joe over there brought up. What's the incentive? There doesn't need to be an incentive for Notre Dame because they have an automatic bid, an under table agreement that they're going to be in the playoff if they finished ranked 12 in 2026. So why the why would you care who your matchups are at that point if you know you're getting an automatic bid? So what you're going to do is, if you're Notre Dame, is you're going to make your schedule to where you stay in the top 12. You're going to put BYU in over USC.
Okay, so and to your point, I agree with you. There's no competition there. And who's going to watch them at that point? At some point, what true talent is actually going to want to play for Notre Dame at that point? They're going to be like, you're not playing anybody. You're not bringing in any kind of revenue. And with the, with them paying players to begin with, you can't compete. It's infuriating. So their football program is in shambles right now, outside of Marcus Freeman, which you are a breath away from losing.
Well, I feel like they're about to play themselves, because if the condition is that they have to be in the top 12 by the time the season ends, if they put up a weak-ass schedule, which seems like that's what they're about to do, there's no way in the world they'll be put in the top 12. There's no way.
It's not seams. It's not seams. That's what they're doing. Because, okay, let me go into detail on why this even came about or took place.
Okay.
So they were getting together to set up their schedule for next year. As USC and Notre Dame, we have played each other for almost over 100 years. The only time that USC and Notre Dame never played each other was during World War II and COVID. Okay, that's how long. So when USC found out that Notre Dame had an agreement to have an automatic playoff bid, USC was like, okay, hold on, we travel to you, because in the odd years, I believe it was Notre Dame would come to USC. In the even years, USC would go to Notre Dame. So when that happened, when we would go, we would have to be a late night game, and it would be towards the later end of the season. So USC was like, okay, since you're already getting an automatic playoff bid, if you fit in 12, let's play this game in week 0. That way, if we lose, it's not going to hurt us as bad. If you lose, it's not going to hurt you as bad. Well, the AD didn't like that, didn't want to do it. So
Notre Dame's AD?
Yes. And it's in that article that I put in our chat. So the AD refused to do it because of that. And I'm thinking like, okay, wait a minute. And then what that AD does is he goes and he signs BYU. And this is another reason why I don't understand why the ACC or the NCAA as a whole capitulates to Notre Dame. Like, why are they so important that they get an automatic bid? Because if that happened, say that happened this year and Miami beat them already and they got an automatic bid, they'd be even a worse situation than they would be if next year. So for the life of me, I don't understand it. It's like, I can understand like for the traditional teams, like 7 out of the last 10 national champs have been SEC teams. Like if Alabama or Georgia, got you finish 12, you get an automatic bid. I can understand that, right? But Notre Dame hasn't won a chip in 40 years. So what makes them so special that they can have an automatic bid without playing in a conference championship game or any of that shit?
Now,
I don't disagree there, Raider. And here's the other thing, and this is why rivalries do matter. I mean, I think if any of the audience has actually listened to our podcast, knows all too well, there is no love between the Raiders and the Broncos, which you and I are fans of. But could you imagine the NFL without it?
Oh, no.
I mean, rivalries do matter. I mean, Michigan, Ohio State, LSU, Auburn, the list goes on. Or
Texas
A&M. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. You don't think that's not must-watch TV? How about the Red River Shootout? I mean, Texas versus OU.
Georgia, Florida.
The list goes on. But there's rivalries do matter. And if you're trying to just skate by and steal a championship, who the is going to want to watch you?
Or play you, for that matter.
Exactly. I mean, you want to get into the playoffs? Fine. You go ahead and play these cupcake teams, and then we're going to knock the absolute dog shit out of you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's their mindset right now.
And not to pile on here specifically towards Notre Dame, but it's not like their recent these recent CFP performances warrant any merit either.
Yes, that's my point. Exactly.
Oh,
Look what happened the last
here's
time they were out there. They got their
mm,
asses handed to them.
yeah, here's another one though. Who do you think it actually hurts more? The school or the players? I'm thinking the players because I mean, here these kids are that are actually trying to get their way into the NFL. Who in the hell is NFL is the NFL going to be even interested in these mediocre players that they're almost certainly not going to be able to, because they're not going to get elite talent. Who's going to
Right.
want to play for them? I mean,
As
how can they scout? What are they going to do?
especially with the academic requirements that Notre Dame has, like
Yeah,
they're no joke. So it's like you already restrict yourselves as far as the recruiting pool
basically
based on
Notre
that
Dame
alone.
is yeah, basically Notre Dame is turning themselves from a football perspective into fucking Duke.
What? Well said.
Mm,
Yes, absolutely. But the thing about Duke, though, is they're a what? A member of the ACC.
yep. And they're
So
a conference champ, unlike y'all.
Yeah, but once again, my point is that they don't give a shit about football. Their basketball program, on the other hand, that's what they care about. That's their bread and butter. But yeah, when it comes to football, whatever. I mean, yeah, we'll put some helmets on some kids and let them play.
yeah, that's like LA with UCLA football. We don't give a shit. It's about USC. Do they win? Nice. Okay. Whatever. But and then another point, let me just make this other point and then I'll be done. I I looked forward to that matchup because do you know how bad I want to talk shit to
Oh yeah, I know because I was able to do it. But but no, it is a sad day. I mean, to actually piss away that kind of rivalry, that's been generationally expensive. I mean, it's just been around forever. And I don't know what the ultimate cause of it was, but I have a sneaky suspicion based on, recent weeks that it was Notre Dame's fault, for throwing a freaking tantrum and just saying fuck the entire NCAA. That's a guess. I don't know. I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but nevertheless, that's just a rivalry you don't let go of. And the
That's
fact
just
that Notre Dame doesn't want to enter into a conference, man, that's just a black eye. It's such a black eye.
I'm really trying to understand your athletic director. Like you talking about like batting 0 for 8. Like this dude, like every single turn, he's making all the wrong decisions. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous at this. And look, as much as I want to see y'all suffer, uh, these self-inflicted wounds here it's just not appealing.
Exactly. And see, you want to see that your rivalry team actually suffer on the field,
Yes.
not in dark black offices,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. These dark room things. And I'll be honest with you. I don't think that agreement was supposed to be known by the public. I really think again, like we pointed out last week, the AD's arrogance here just continuously shows itself, and all it does is work to the detriment of the overall school.
Yeah.
Because why would you if you have this type of this in place agreement? Why in the world would you tell everybody about it? Like that. Honestly, that's some of the stuff that we think that's happening, with the SEC and the NCAA, and it kind of speaks to some of my, little tinfoil hat conspiracy theories that I have about the SEC. But now it's like you, we have a memorandum of understanding that if we make it into the top 12, that we get an automatic bid. I mean, oh, and by the way, again, yet another example that I don't want to hear schools crying that they're poor. They literally chose to give up money because they didn't want to play in the bowl game. But then they whatever money that they had to hand out to make sure that they guaranteed themselves a playoff berth. I mean, clearly they got some pockets. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they man, they pissed away $4 million in a bowl bid.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, just
and
because.
to play a cupcake, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
It's and this is all because of the AD. I mean, what he's doing, guys, I thought that you guys would be a little bit more surprised to hear me, go out against my Irish, but how can you defend it? You
No,
know,
well, I mean, first of all,
you
you're not a
can't.
delusional fan. Like you wear your heart on your sleeve, but you're not delusional. And that's one of the things that we appreciate you there, Angry Joey. Is you keep things in perspective relatively, but essentially, like, but
You had to
things
throw the relatively in there, huh?
oh, of course, yes, but like, but for things that are like this egregious and this obvious, come on, like
Yeah, it's
there's
just
there's
bad.
there's
It's
no
just
there's
bad.
no way to back this up. Like any true fan worth their salt would also agree, will have the same stance that you do. But I do have a question. Like, I am loving this idea, and this is a little bit of update for everybody else. The Michigan Wolverines, the the rumblings amongst those who have pockets and cash. They're saying they have no problem opening up the checkbook to get their next head coach. And as far as NIL money and all that type of stuff, they are completely diving into the pool. They're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they keep the players they have already recruited for 26 and beyond. And so with this news that Notre Dame is again shooting themselves in the foot, if I'm Ward Emanuel, I'm flying a plane to South Bend, Indiana, and I'm talking to Marcus Freeman right now. And I'm just handing him a blank check, and you have full control of the football program. Do as you see fit. That's what I'm doing today.
I actually just brought that up not too long ago. That's the one thing that scares me. It really does. If Marcus Freeman leaves, I mean, that's a gravestone for at least the next 10 years. And
Yeah.
that's provided, of course, that they find a replacement for him. You
Yeah.
know, that's scary as shit. I mean, but that could maybe. I cringe to say this, but maybe that'll open up this AD's eyes to find out how messed up he's made things. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, we already know that Marcus Freeman's already been approached by NFL teams, namely the
Hmm.
Giants. Is it beyond the realm of possibility that he actually goes to Michigan? If you would have asked me 3 months ago, I would have said no fucking way. You know, but I mean, if he sees what's all going on, I mean, he sees how messed up this athletic director is. He sees all the politics that are actually taking place and what he's trying to do and pander to the NCAA and
Yeah.
manipulate the system. He, he kind of strikes me as the kind of person that is like, I don't want to have any part of this. So, I mean, would it break my heart to see him leave? Absolutely. But would it surprise me? No. At this point, I mean, I hate to say it because I mean he's such a good coach and I think he could do well on all levels. But I mean,
So
Notre
to
Dame
put
is
it
they're cooking their own goose, man. That's what they're doing.
well, to put it in perspective, since 1986, when Lou Holtz first coached the team, Marcus Freeman has a higher winning percentage regular season than even Lou Holtz. So that's the type of guy that you could potentially be losing. When it comes down, he has your best bowl record. He has, as far as percentage points, he has a higher record than even Lou Holtz does.
Well,
So
yeah, he
man,
is, and he's
oh
also
man,
a player's coach too. That's what you want. He is a player's coach.
Yeah, let me finish up the USC thing. So
yeah,
if USC was pulling this shit, I would be saying the same thing about them
oh,
that
of
I'm
course,
saying about Notre Dame. Okay,
yeah.
I just want to be fair. And on top of that, too, like if you're Notre Dame, why would you not want to have more difficult opponents on your schedule, at least 3 or 4, so that way you can completely eliminate the argument about you have a soft cupcake schedule. Like, why would you not want that? If you're so confident in your program, do that. You know what I mean? But they're not. They're going the other. They're putting in BYU over USC, which just we don't need to go there again. And
Yeah.
but as far as Marcus Freeman goes, man, listen, if Michigan comes calling, I would take that if I was Marcus Freeman because there's no telling what's going to happen next year with this automatic playoff bid. And now that the public knows about it, and I read some articles today where that a lot of people are pissed off about it, a lot of other schools, and they're going to
Absolutely.
remove Notre Dame from their schedule. Like, that's already been discussed. So if you're Freeman, you're like, okay, wait a minute. I'm sure he has his own goals, right? I don't know him. I don't have any information. I'm just speculating. He wants to win a chip.
Yeah.
So Michigan don't hire from nobody. They play Ohio State every year, right?
Well, we
They
don't
don't
have a
hide.
choice. But
Well,
yeah,
exactly. But I'm saying is they don't hide though. You know what I'm saying?
No,
They
no.
welcome that matchup.
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, Oklahoma. We play Oklahoma next year, and I believe in 27 we play Texas.
Look at
So
that. Look at
yeah.
that. You just made my point. So if
Mhm.
you're Freeman, not only can you have a decent roster there, the defense is good. Your quarterback, I'm sorry, bro, I don't think he can hit the broadside of a barn, but he can get developed. That's some good soil there, and you got a deep pocketbook. Now, I'm not saying Notre Dame doesn't, but
Yeah.
the AD is so fucking stupid. I wouldn't have nothing to do with that.
And look, and the biggest thing, and you already know, my biggest concern is making sure that we have the right staff to develop Bryce Underwood. And I have no doubt that Marcus Freeman will make sure that's in place. No doubt. So,
Yeah.
hey, one
And,
man's trash is another man's treasure. Come on,
and
Marcus.
let's not forget, Notre Dame tried to run him out of town in year one. Don't forget
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit into half a year too. So let's not forget that.
Yep. And hey, Angry Joey, we can easily allow things to mend itself. Marcus Freeman, he can come on to Michigan, and y'all can bring Brian Kelly back. Ain't no problem with that.
All right, I'm going to give you a giant fuck you to that one. And don't you edit that out. Can't believe those words just came out of your mouth, dude. All right.
I'm sorry.
You said last week, you were going to test the boundaries of our friendship. Well, you just fucking did.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. I got tears in my eyes. You want to talk about a pause? There was a pause there before he said that. I think he was evaluating whether you guys are going to be friends after this point. What he was going to say.
Well,
This is me happy that we're not doing this in person because I know you're a big son of a bitch. But after a comment like that, I'm pretty sure I can take you. I mean, my God.
I probably would have witnessed your eyes turning black.
Oh, wait, hey, whoa.
We only saw that once, didn't we, there, Raider?
Yeah, man. This shit was funny, but now this is where I'm like, okay, time out.
No.
There's a story behind that, but we will reserve the right to hold that for later.
Yeah, we'll say that to the off season.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I say this facetiously. Notre Dame, good luck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
So I was asking you guys this question, but what makes Notre Dame so special? I just want to know. I'm genuinely want to know why they are so special that they get an automatic bid as opposed to teams that have won chips in the recent years or have been more successful than them. What is it about them that
Tradition.
gets them there?
I think it's as simple as that. Tradition. They're the second oldest college team ever in the United States, and that is only behind the Navy of all teams. They actually have won a hell of a lot of games. Not recently, of course. But they've. I think it's all tradition, and as you guys know, college football, they're all about that whole traditional type situation,
Sure.
which is a disappointing thing, because it's also tradition that they were playing USC.
Yeah. So they're living off the legacy of the past, then, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
It's
Yes.
pretty much it. Yeah. Lou Holtz, he actually, he put them in the, he's up there, but I think it's all tradition. It's as simple as that. It's a Catholic school. Originally, it was a Catholic country. So I think that was probably it too.
Yeah, but as far as tradition goes, the this whole college football playoff stuff pretty much. I mean, look, the landscape of college football is, to some degree, is trying to do away with tradition. So really, it goes back to Mr. Rader's point. What does Notre Dame offer?
Not
Yeah.
anything anymore. Not a thing anymore, because now they're up until the last 2 years, they are also paying players. So
Correct.
that's non-traditional as well, so
Yeah.
things are
It's a brand new
changing.
day,
And
man.
yeah, a lot of things are changing in college sports, and I don't think that Notre Dame is equipped to follow the status quo at this point, or they're too greedy, whatever the case may be.
Or they're smelling their own shit and saying
Pretty
it's
much.
roses.
And well, if they
pretty much.
don't, then they should be, because right now, man, things aren't smelling too good.
Well, I mean, they're definitely playing the role of the 50 star that still thinks that they're still on the top of the hill, and they demand the people know who they are. Like,
Yeah.
Guys, I can't disagree with you, man. I mean, all the vitriol that's actually been thrown at Notre Dame, I think that it was well deserved. Not at the players and not the college, but the AD and some of the politics that are actually going on in the background that we probably have no idea about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it like this, Angry Joey. Until that AD leaves, you will be, in my eyes, you're referred to as the whining Irish until he leaves. Okay.
Oh, say it again, dude. Jesus. My God.
Sorry. Start putting up a fight, and then we change it. But anyway,
No, I don't think that they're going to be putting up a fight anytime soon, given the way that they're actually structuring shit.
yeah,
It just
right.
it breaks my heart, but it is what it is, guys. Anyway,
I
moving on.
understand. Yes, let's move on. So let's transition a little bit to. I guess let's get boxing out of the way since we're talking about people,
Yes.
taking some L's here.
Let's go.
Jake Paul, he decided he wanted
You
to strap
fat
up with
bastard.
Anthony Joshua, and as we, as the 210 show, famously predicted that once Jake Paul got in the ring with an actual experienced boxer, that he will be shown his ass. And that is exactly what happened in the form of a broken jaw in 2 places. And let me tell you, it looked as delicious on replay as it did in live action. Thank you, Anthony Joshua, for your service. Thank you, Jake Paul, for being stupid enough to still go forward with the fight, even though when you had the weigh-ins, you was looking up at that man a lot.
Yeah.
But you still went through with it. And make sure you pay him his purse, please. Because there's rumor mill that they're trying to pull something. I'm like, do you really want that man to show up at your house? Just saying.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier today there, Hater. Is it really true that Jake Paul is actually trying to hold the strings for this purse?
That's rumor. I'm just saying it's alleged. It's alleged that is potentially what's happening here. Because I think,
but
and
does
the number,
Jake
and I might
Paul,
have the wrong. Huh?
if that's the truth, does this man want to die? I mean, this is fucking Vegas we're talking about here,
Hey,
I
man.
mean,
Hey man. Hey,
I've seen
you know
Casino.
what? Blow. You know what I'm saying? Blows to the head can affect your thinking.
well, I suppose, but he already got 2 broken jaws. Does he want more? I mean, dude, I mean, that's a dangerous game you're playing if you actually go down that road. I mean, financially and physically. I'm just saying.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would say that Mr. Raider is our boxing expert here. What were your thoughts about this actual fight? Or
this
man.
I guess
Yeah, this I gotta hear.
I'm gonna call it a
I gotta
fight.
hear. This is good.
Okay, so first, like in the first round, you could pick the moment when Jake Paul knew he was in some shit. Like he was in deep water, and it was in the middle of the first round when homeboy and then Anthony Joshua smiled at him too, where he almost caught him with that right hook. I don't know if y'all remember that one in the first round.
Yes,
It just
yeah.
barely missed him, and I think the wind from that punch pushed his eyebrows back and his eyelids up, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And that's when he started running. And Jake Paul knew it was just a matter of time. So I watched the hope and the confidence from that man fade away in the start of the second round. Like he was just like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to his legs because he's a 7'8" Nephilim.
Dude, he did that, what,
So
3 times? 3
yeah,
times he
man.
actually fucking held his legs.
Yeah.
I've never seen a person get knocked down and hold another man's legs. Dude, what kind of a bitch are you at that point?
I'm telling you, man. So I was just like, damn, Oscar De La Hoya. How about that? Oscar De La Hoya could have done better, maybe. But
Against what? Against Jake Paul or against what?
against
Against
Anthony
Anthony?
Joshua, yeah, he would have lasted longer.
Well, he would
But
have
I'm
lasted
telling you,
longer, but
man.
you're talking about a welterweight versus a heavyweight. Come on.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, bro. It was over right in the middle of the first round. You could see it. Like as soon as I saw it, I told my wife, like, "It's over. It's a wrap." And he proceeded to chase him down, methodically pick him apart. He jabbed him in the face, and you got to remember now, Anthony Joshua's jabs are like right crosses, pretty much.
Well, not only
You
that,
know,
but he has like a 20-foot arm span.
yeah, and like a 40-foot or a 40-pound weight difference too. But so like
Yes.
when you hit a guy like that, it's different than when you're hitting these, NBA players and 57-year-old boxers. It's different.
Yeah.
And I think Jake Paul felt that. And Jake Paul, to his credit, he did land a couple good punches. But once he saw those punches had zero effect, zero on
Right.
Anthony Joshua, it was done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my take. Now, let me be fair. Okay, Jake Paul, I give him credit for stepping in the ring with that guy, first of all, right? It's not some washed up or some former MMA fighter or some basketball player or hell,
Yes.
even a football player. He went in there with a legit guy who's won championships. So props to him. And listen, if I would have gotten in the ring and he knocked me the fuck out, I'd have woke up $90 million richer. I would have had a great day. So he should have a good day. But I want him to go away now. Shut up. Go away.
Well, that's
Leave
the
boxing
rumor.
alone.
He, the rumor is that he is actually going to be taken away from boxing.
Yeah, he needs to.
You know,
Just stick on the
after
promoting.
when he actually shut Jake Paul's mouth up for fucking real, you know, I mean, and not
Yeah.
just on YouTube, but for
Well,
real.
Well, remember when Anthony Joshua hit him with that punch, Jake's Paul faced when he was going on the way down to the ground. He was like,
Yes.
holy shit. I
Yeah.
just got hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
I am in some
dude,
trouble.
that was brutal. It was almost hard
Broke
to
his
watch.
jaw
You know,
in
I
two
mean,
places.
yeah, it was almost hard to watch. He knocked the ever living piss out of him. Now, to be fair, I did not watch the entire fight. I actually got on Facebook and I saw that the fight had taken place and that Jake Paul, not to my surprise, had lost. But when I started YouTube and things, I started looking at this, and just trying to figure out what happened. And then I saw that punch. I was like, oh my God, did he kill him?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to see, once again, we got to go back to the fact as annoying and as just, gosh, I don't know a better word for annoying, but he's just exacerbating, Jake Paul is. I don't wish harm on him. I really
Yeah,
don't, you know
no.
what I mean? But at the
But
same
he is
time,
going to have brain damage.
but he had it fucking coming. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to pass with Mike Tyson. I mean, and everybody knows that fight was scripted. There was no authenticity to that fight whatsoever.
Yeah.
And this kind of goes to prove it because you put him in a fight with somebody that's not in his 60s, that is just towering over you, and he punished that man. I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad.
But okay, so and let me also take the time. I need to apologize to Mr. Raider here because when the original fight was supposed to be, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, and I was of the mindset that the size difference might have been too much, but honestly, seeing what happened here, even though the size discrepancy was in the inverse of this case, I now see your side of things on this, Mr. Raider, and I definitely think that Gervonta Davis would have whooped the living piss out of Jake Paul, regardless of size. Like,
okay, so Mr. Raider, I got to ask the question then. Why is it that you think that Jake Paul actually had the balls to actually shift from one fighter to the next? I mean, either one of those was going to kill him. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, why do you think that he actually did that?
Yeah, so I have 2 theories on this. My first theory is that I think this was Jake Paul's last fight. I think he knew it. And I think he was trying to make as much money as he possibly could because the writing was on the wall, man. His last several fights haven't done well. It's it's just not it's not going well for him. So I think this is his exit strategy, if you will. I think he wanted Gervonta Davis because he thought that he could survive longer because he was the bigger guy. But when Gervonta Davis started in those press conferences talking about now, okay, that's it. You do something else, I'm gonna really fuck you up, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but he basically let Jake Paul know, okay, I'm not following the script. I'm going here to whoop your ass now, and that's when he went to someone else. Now he reached out to Anthony Joshua, and I think
Yeah,
he was
but
like,
why the
okay,
fuck would he go to Anthony Joshua of
because
all
again,
people, man?
it's his exit strategy, bro. Because he couldn't keep it. He knew he was going to get beat. He knows that he's not a professional boxer. He knows it.
Okay,
So
so
he's
you
kind of
think
reached his
that
apex.
you think that he was actually going to get exited or murdered less from Anthony Joshua than he would what's his name?
Right. Yep. Yep. Just because the fact that Jake Paul is like 120 pounds heavier than he was, or 100 pounds heavier. So he could absorb some of those shots, but I still think Gervonta Davis would have him up.
Yeah, because the placement of them shots would have been he would have tore his ribs up, and then as soon as that happens, your size doesn't matter.
Hold on,
You
watch.
know?
Let me ask a resident expert. Hold on one second. Hey, niece, Mimi. She's the boxer. Let me ask her who she think would lose.
Oh,
Hold on one second.
oh,
Let me
we
go
got a
grab her
SME
real quick.
on yeah, we got a SME here.
We got special, yeah, we got a subject
That's
matter
right.
expert.
Special
Yeah,
guest, my niece, who is a boxer, who's ranked in Texas. Hold
yeah.
on. Let me go get her real quick.
But I will say, I'm looking
Right
at
here?
some of the clips here, right? And the
Uh-huh.
one thing that I noticed
Yeah.
was his brother's reaction while he's in the ring, because you
Yeah.
know he you know he the biggest hype man there ever is, right?
Yeah.
And when he I don't know if it was the first time or the second time when he dropped to his knee. I think it was the second time when he dropped to his knees or he grabbed Anthony Joshua's legs. His entire facial expression completely changed. It went
Yeah.
from okay, this was fun and games to
Okay.
like
Hold on. I want you to get on my pod real quick. So this is my niece. Okay. She boxes. Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. Who wins?
Javante.
Why?
Because Javante don't really care about the script.
See? That's what I said. You hear that? My niece say he don't care about the script, and that scared the shit out of Jake Paul. Would you agree?
Yeah.
All right. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
That's a surgery on his stomach because he was fat.
Probably. Now, let me ask you this.
Mm.
If you do you think if Jake Paul saw Gervonta Davis in the street and it was just them two, would he run?
Yes. Well, yeah.
He would run, right?
Yeah.
Why would he run?
Because
Because he get his ass whooped,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
not only
Anyway,
that, but Javante about that life. Like
yeah.
he about that life. Jay Paul ain't about that life.
Okay, so here's another off spin question. Who do you think would actually win in a fight, Javante or Anthony?
Who?
Anthony
That's
Joshua.
different.
Man,
That's
Yeah.
different.
I know that's a
who you
side
think gonna
point.
win? Who
Come
you think
on.
gonna win? Gervonta Davis or Anthony Joshua?
It'll be a close fight.
Oh, she's saying it'd be a close fight. I think Anthony
I
Oh.
Joshua.
totally
would win.
disagree. I totally disagree.
Oh,
I think Anthony Joshua would kill him. That would not be fair. That no.
Well, Javante has a lot of head movement. He moves a lot more. And AJ just goes power.
Yeah, but
Who's
I
your
just
favorite
jab you to death. Like
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
My favorite.
Who's your favorite boxer?
Say, my favorite is probably Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see.
Muhammad
Or the-
Ali.
All right. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, or the monster.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. Well, that's my niece,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen. So
All right.
all three of
Nice
them are
little-
in here actually. So
Wonderful little guest spot there, buddy.
yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate that subject matter.
So
Subject matter
that's
take there.
that's Hater with Facts, and that's Angry Joy is the guy who came over today.
Uh-huh.
Hater with Facts is a Detroit Lions fan. We won't hold that against him, okay? But he's a good dude too. But you could take him. You could take both these guys. You know what I'm saying?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
All right. Thanks for indulging me, fellas. I'm so proud of her, man.
course.
She loves boxing, so I figured get her
Yeah.
take on it.
Good stuff, man.
That's
Good
good.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
They
good.
said the same shit I said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
All
good
right.
stuff. Yeah,
Um,
that was murder row there. I mean, that fight, it just wasn't gonna. But
yeah.
I think you're right there, Raider. You know that Jake Paul, he kind of he had to see the writing on the wall. You know, I
yeah,
mean,
man.
take that
And he's
It was a
paycheck,
good run, man.
move on.
and he's what,
Yeah.
34, 35? How old is he?
Yeah,
I think he's 30, mid-30s. I don't know how
Yeah.
old he is, but if he's in his mid-30s, then yeah, he better be planning an exit strategy. And from the word that I saw online or read some articles it was like 81 million for the fight.
Oof.
Nuts,
So
right?
I was just looking through it. I think we can safely say that there is no dispute here. Anthony Joshua is definitely going to get his money because they're talking about how much taxes he has to pay. So that's good. I mean, good news for that. I think the total purse was 140 million.
Ooh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Holy smokes!
140 million. Yeah, man, that's a lot of money, man. And you know what? I don't know about you fellas. I'm gonna speak for me.
Mm.
Listen. I can fight for a round or two and take a nice nap for $81 million. You hear what I'm saying? I could take an ass whooping for $81 million.
I
I'll
do.
say if I can put it in the
Come on
condition
now.
like, hey, you tab my ribs, but don't take
Yeah.
the
Don't
pace,
give me
please.
brain damage.
Right.
I want
Yeah.
to be able to
Just,
enjoy my 81 million.
neck up, off limits. All the torso and everything, do what you gotta do. But yeah, 3 minutes is enough.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you can hit me so hard that I'll shit, but just don't lock my head off.
Don't puncture my liver. Like,
Yeah.
don't puncture my liver, and I'll take a cracked rib. I can survive that.
Oh God.
I don't know if anybody's ever sparred like 'cause like when I was younger, I did like Muay Thai, boxing, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Kali slot, all that stuff. And I remember I was sparring my coach at that time, and his name was John Camarata. Shout out to John Camarata if he's still around. And he was a former security forces officer, police officer on base.
mm,
And he knew I had some issues as far as like, anger issues and wanted to throw hands all the time. So he brought me in there and he sparred me and he hit me with a punch to liver and it hurt so bad I thought I was gonna shit myself. So ever
ooh,
since then, I've always
ooh.
had a phrase: "Look, if you just don't, you can hit me. Just make sure you don't hit me so hard where I shit myself." And I was like 16, and I was talking shit. I was like, "Man, you don't want me to get in there." I was like, "I'll run circles around your old ass." And he Anthony Joshua me,
Damn.
rightfully so. That's a grown ass man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was
Right.
16 at the time.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I can take a body shot, but just leave my head alone, and I'll make 81 million. I'm good.
And you learned your lesson, right? So
Absolutely,
I'm pretty
absolutely.
sure, Jay Paul's people went to him and said, "Now, what do we learn?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
to jump in my coach's credit, man, he took me under his wing and trained me for a while before he had a PCS. So he was a good dude.
nice.
So to be fair there, Hater, let's hope that Jake Paul didn't, when he was asked that question, didn't come back and say, who? What?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
or Tyson Fury, you're next. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I'm glad you brought that up because Anthony Joshua said that that's who he wants now. He wants
Yeah.
Tyson Fury.
So I think
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury's gonna beat him, dude.
Yeah. 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 Like
He's something else, man. He really is.
he's
And
too
I
skilled, dude.
yeah,
He,
man.
he-
And he can take punishment, bro.
yes. Yeah.
And he's huge. You realize he's
Yes.
taller than Anthony Joshua, right?
Yes. Yes. I know. Yeah. Like the type of like the type of package that he presents is ridiculous. Like to be that skilled, to be that big, and still have agility about you, like that ain't fair, dude. That's like some video game stuff. I think we got it all out of our system here. Do we want to transition to NFL a little bit?
Let's do
Let's
some
do it.
NFL, buddy.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So we're just gonna do this real quick. It is a lot to talk about, right? So, our 3 games of the week, I'll just run them down. The Thursday night game, Seahawks, the number 2 Seahawks beat the Rams 38-37 in an overtime thriller. The number 15 Jags went to the number 3 Broncos and won 34-20. So I'm pretty sure Angry Joy has a lot of words about that. And then the Monday night game was number 10 49ers went to the Indianapolis Colts and completely smoked them 48-27, 5 touchdowns from Brock Purdy. So I'm gonna start. I'll start with this here. Sam Darnold is a joke.
Uh-oh.
I don't care what the score says. I saw what happened. Sam Darnold saw ghosts, went to the sideline, called Ghostbusters, and Rashid Shaheed answered the call for them. Because if it wasn't for that, they was about to get ran out of town in Seattle. And the ghosts, yeah, and every worst fear that everybody has about Sam Darnold would have came to fruition more loudly than what I'm saying right now. But I still believe I know what that man is. A zebra doesn't change its stripes, and a leopard doesn't change its spots. That dude will collapse under pressure. I care what that score said. The fact that he was lucky enough to get them in that position and he was able to escape one time does not mean that he has turned the corner and he is somehow a different quarterback. I do not believe you can win with him, and he is going to fall off a cliff sooner than later.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I
I
really am.
I quasi agree with you. I think that I think that in a regular season game, he's good, but when it comes to clutch, he's not, I mean, I quasi agree with you. I don't think he's dumpster fire trash or anything like that, but I think he still has some left in the tank.
Honestly, I feel like Darnold is he's a slightly above backup quarterback level. That's how I feel about him.
Oh, wait. Who would you rather have? Sam Darnold or Geno?
Oh,
Sam
Oh, my God.
Darnold. I got to
See?
say
Oh my
Sam
God.
Darnold.
I mean,
See? He's not that
that's
trash.
I mean, eat bricks or eat shit. Like which one? Like
Well, okay. So to be fair, he's actually,
Eat favorite flavorless grits.
So to be fair, Gino, he's actually been dealt a shit hand. He has not been put on a really good team at all.
What?
You know what I mean.
Oh, more Raider slander. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. No, I'm not saying that's a slam or anything like that. But he was not dealt a very good hand. I think that Sam Darnold, he has much better opportunity with the Seahawks than Gino actually does with the Raiders. That's my only take. And who's the better quarterback? I think it depends on the situation. It's kind of hard to make the comparison.
I mean, godly. I mean, Sam Darnold sees ghosts and Geno Smith can't tell time. So I guess between the two of them, I guess I'll take Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I would take Sam Darnold too. But there's no way Sam Darnold would survive behind our offensive line. So
Oh no.
But here's the thing too, man, is that I think that I think Sam Darnold throughout his career, he's played on shitty teams. Right? Now we went to the Vikings, they had that Cinderella year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that just goes to show you how good the Seattle Seahawks team is despite their quarterback play. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, their defense is nice. Their defense is really nice.
They got a nice young nucleus and some good talent down over there. That shows you how you can start from scratch and build it up again. And I'm just
If you
not
build
sold
it
that
right.
Darnold's the piece. Yeah, he's just a stopgap, man. Before they get somebody else in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a bridge quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's going to dispute that. They're looking for their franchise quarterback, but and who would have thought? Once again, he was a first round pick, but how often do those really pan out?
Yeah, because they get chewed up and spit out because of the shitty teams they're on. Andrew Luck, anybody?
Yeah.
Joe
Well,
Burrow?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean,
Let's be fair.
organization. Yeah,
Oh, the list
organization
goes
and
on.
coaching matters, man. It's you've got to have a solid foundation regardless of where you're at. And
conversely, I'll throw this one out there. Conversely, Drake May.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Went to the right situation and look at him flourish.
Bo Nix.
Now he's Bo Nix. He's doing great. Yeah. So
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Right? You can say CJ Stroud. Okay, so would you take CJ Stroud or Jordan Love?
Oh, Stroud. Oh, Stroud all day.
There we go.
Stroud
I
all
would
day.
too.
Yep.
I would too.
I would
Jordan Love
probably
is
say Stroud, but close. Because I think that Jordan Love, he does have some in the tank, I think.
Yeah,
He
look,
does.
okay. Yeah.
He's not a bust. You know, I mean, he really
No.
isn't.
No,
He's not. He's not. He's
but
not.
he
Look, if
has,
I had to choose between him and Geno, I'm choosing Jordan Love all day long, every
of
day.
course.
That's not saying much, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's a consistency that's the problem. Jordan Love he'll just short circuit for like 2 or 3 games, like just out of the blue. Like he'll look like a baller for about 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden he just short circuits, and it's like, what the hell is that? You know?
Well, we can actually do the whole Marvel what if thing. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because what if you actually took, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes and actually put him on? I'm thinking about a team that's worse, but then again, I can't think of one.
Cleveland?
You motherfucker. Yeah, put him on Cleveland. Oh, did you like that little dig? Okay. Yeah, but put
There
him
you
on
go. Shout out to
you know?
Monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that. You know, I mean, it's interesting how the environment and the coaching and the culture actually changes a player to playing at an elite level or not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Baker Mayfield is probably the best example of this.
Oh,
You know?
that's a
Good
very
point.
good take. Actually,
Yeah.
very good
Good
point.
point.
You know, I mean, he was garbage in Cleveland, but what was it? It was the culture, it was the climate, it was the chemistry that actually almost ruined him. And then it wasn't until he actually gets to Tampa Bay that he actually starts just absolutely flourishing, and he stops doing his commercials and you know, I mean,
Yeah. I would say he
doing
wasn't garbage though, Angry Joy. I do agree with you, but I would say he wasn't garbage because he did win them some games. He did elevate them. They just mismanaged from like a coaching perspective, and
Yes.
he had injuries and shit like that. So I think I agree with everything you said, but I would just say Baker was not the problem in Cleveland.
fair point.
No.
I agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you. Fair point.
Yeah. I guess to some degree, I owe Baker Mayfield a slight apology because I thought it was his, I thought they were putting too much on they gave him too much authority too soon. And I thought
Yeah.
that helped cause his demise. But man, no, seeing what we see now, like, yeah, I mean, that might have helped, but still, it doesn't overshadow the fact that the Cleveland Browns organization is just utter complete garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So conversely, here's another one. How about dare I go there? How about oh gosh, I hate to say this, but what about Tom Brady and Belichick? I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
already know the answer to the question as to
it's Brady.
who was great, you know, but would he have actually been able to develop into the quarterback that he ended up being without Belichick?
Belichick had nothing to do with that.
You don't think
That
so?
was Charlie Weiss and McDaniels.
I disagree, sir.
No,
You know,
that
I
was
mean,
Charlie Weiss and McDaniels, bro. Bill Belichick was a special teams defensive coach. That's all. He wasn't. He wasn't under the he wasn't tuteling Tom Brady. Matter of fact, remember Bill Belichick wanted Bledsoe, right? Bledsoe got hurt. They put Tom Brady in. Charlie Weiss went to the bat for him because he was doing what he needed to do. But I love your question, and here's my counter to it. I would say, look what happened when Tom Brady left. He went to Tampa. They won a Super Bowl. They're being competitive. What did Bill Belichick do? He was notorious for not paying players, for doing shit on the cheap. He went and spent $160 million on his payroll and still had a losing fucking season and hasn't been in the playoffs or won anything since.
Oh,
So
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that, you know, I mean, is it chicken before the egg or what? You know, I mean, you know, because let's not forget that Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick.
yeah,
You
he
know,
was. He was.
so
I would put it like this. I would, if I were to slice this pie, I would say 55% goes to Brady, 45% goes to Belichick. And the only reason why is to Belichick being a defensive mastermind when he was a rookie
Okay.
and in
Yeah.
the foundational years for Tom Brady
Yeah.
gave him
First Super Bowl. Yeah.
it gave him enough wiggle room so that it wasn't so much on his plate that
Yeah.
he
That's
had to
fair.
overreach. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So
He came up with the game
you know,
plans. Yeah.
once, let's say you
Right.
put Tom Brady on the Jets at the time.
Oh, he'll be dead. He'll be
Do you
dead.
think he would
Yeah.
go at
Oh,
that point?
hell yeah, he'll be dead. first of all, he probably would have demanded out. Tom Brady would have had the wherewithal to say, "Get me out of this organization." That's number one. Number two, the Jets again, like some of these other, and just a slight pause here. I wanted to do a slight segment one day where you called cornerstone franchises and corner store franchises. And the New York Jets are a corner store franchise. They just exist. They just out there just to make a little money and make a little change and to help a little bit in the community. But other than that, they are not well regarded, and they operate like a little corner store in your neighborhood. That's it. That's all they are.
Oh, yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah,
agree, but but I think you guys have kind of proven my point that I think that organization, culture, and leadership actually have more to do with a player's getting ready to play the game than the player himself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
It all helps and it all contributes, but to truly find those special players though, like that is an art. That is
Very
an art
true.
more than a
And once
science.
again, that comes down to leadership, doesn't
It does. It does. It does. And
I mean,
and then
where would the Chiefs be if they did not find Mahomes?
well, first they had to have Andy Reid.
Well, they were
Andy
winning with
Reid is-
Alex Smith. Don't forget that.
Correct.
They were.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. They actually, I'm trying to think of any other good examples. How about McVay? With the Rams.
Yes. He turned Jared Goff's career around. Jeff Fisher was about to get that dude ran out of town too. The first 2 years he was trash.
Yeah.
And then, Sean McVay comes in, completely fixed him up, turned him around,
And
got
then
him
got
as
rid of
far
him.
as he could.
I mean, look at Goff now. I mean, the dude is.
Yeah.
I mean, dare I say, on the precipice of being. I don't want to say Hall of Fame, but damn,
I think
he's
you-
fucking good.
No,
he really is.
No. Look, as far as he's a Detroit legend at this point because he's the quarterback of the resurrection of, I won't even say resurrection because that means you had to be on top at some point. But the ascension, I'll say that the ascension of the franchise, he's been a key piece of that. So he gets that notoriety for that. But when in terms of Hall of Fame, no. He's definitely not there yet. You gotta get he has a Super Bowl appearance, but he needs to get a couple victories here.
You have to win a ship.
Yeah. That's like saying Joe Burrow is a Hall of Famer right now. Like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, too early.
But slight pivot a little bit, because we kind of talked about this at work a little bit, Mr. Raider. Is Aaron Rodgers a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Holy smokes. We actually talked about this, didn't we there, bud?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, he is. He is. If I'm taking my emotions out of it and trying to be logical, even though, I have my personal feelings about the dude, but yes, I think he is.
Okay. May I have an opportunity to potentially change your mind?
Go ahead.
Okay. I think Angry Joy is kind of in the same boat with you, given the fact of how these sports writers behave and act, that he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. My argument is these same sports writers are the same ones that denied T.O. to be a first ballot Hall of Famer because of his off-field transgressions. Even though they had nothing to do with the law, even though it's team related, they used that as a means to deny him his first ballot Hall of Fame credentials.
Who's T.O. and why?
Terrell Owens. Sorry. Terrell Owens.
And what did he do to actually ruin him his first ballot Hall of Fame?
Let's see.
Shit.
So he went from team to team and he systematically ruined the team chemistry because he have some sort of beef with the quarterback of that team, whether it be when he was with the 49ers, it was Jeff Garcia. Then he went to Philadelphia, he had a beef with Donovan McNabb, and then he gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys and he has a beef with Tony Romo because
I didn't know. I didn't know any of this. I mean, that's. I had no idea. I didn't even know what TO meant. I mean,
Oh
that's
my
crazy.
Oh
God!
my
You
goodness.
lucky
Oh my
Tony would
God.
take me on.
Okay. Yeah,
Tony would
You
face would
you try to
murder
beat
you
with
right
Tony
now.
with things here. All right, you know what? Okay, I fell for your little trap. I can't stand you. Anyway, moving on. But back to Aaron Rodgers. Here's my thing. So, and I'm talking about the last 3 years when he was a Green Bay Packer and what he did organizationally and how he, you know, talked trash about the organization all throughout before he left, and his his off-field antics after that. Those 6 years alone diminish the credibility of him being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think that has to be taken into account. And I think if you're going to continue with the integrity of the selection committee for the NFL Hall of Fame, these sports writers, if you're going to hold that standard for Terrell Owens, you must do it the same for Aaron Rodgers and deny him first ballot Hall of Fame credibility.
Okay, fair points. I hear what you're saying. Fair points, but I would just suggest to you this: the only merit you should be judged by is what you do on the field. Outside of murder on the field or beating your wife or whatever the case is, may be, it should solely be based on the field. That's why it was such a travesty in what happened to T.O. And the whole sports world knew it. These freaking journals were being petties. But that was an isolated incident. Because before that, mind you, they let Lawrence Taylor in there. Lawrence Taylor has had some serious off the field issues and problems, just like a lot of other players that I can name that are in the Hall of Fame. So I would put Terrell Owens' situation in a unique category by itself of just being fucking petty. Not T.O., just the journalist or whoever was voting for him.
Right,
in
the
there.
sports writers, right?
Yes.
But there's been times when there's times when Aaron Rodgers have attacked
Okay.
the media specifically. So these are
You're
the very
right.
people that you're biting the hand that feeds you at this point.
Yeah, you're
So
right. It's the same reason why Barry Bonds is
Yeah,
not
but
in the Hall of Fame
once
because
again,
of steroid, but everybody
that's
was doing steroids. They voted other people that were doing steroids in the Hall of Fame. They just hate Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't detract what he did on the baseball field. That doesn't track what Aaron Rodgers is doing on the football field. That stands by itself. So based on that only, if I'm looking at it from the merits, that yes, he should be a first round ballot Hall of Famer. But two things can be true though. What you're saying is also true.
Could we also say that Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest underachievers of all time, given what his talent is?
Yes.
Say that once again.
Could we say that Aaron Rodgers could be considered one of the greatest underachievers of all time, given his talent?
Okay, what do you consider achieving? One Super Bowl, more Super Bowls than that?
One Super Bowl, and the
Okay,
last
he has
occurred
that.
in 2010, and he had multiple occasions where he was a number 1 seed with the Green Bay.
No, I'm going to
And
say
he was-
no.
No?
And I'll give you a good example. Jim
Okay.
Kelly.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jim Kelly went to the Super Bowl 4 times, 4 consecutive
And
times.
lost all of them.
Okay. But conversely, Aaron Rodgers had the number. Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers had the number 1 seed multiple times and had home games and couldn't get to the Super Bowl. He only made it 1 time.
I'm
At
just
least
saying.
Jim.
I'm
but
just
Jim
saying.
Kelly-
I mean, you want to talk about comparing ships? Come
Yeah.
on, let's compare them.
But
Let's compare them.
Yeah. Okay. But okay. So 1-0. Okay. 1-0. No problem. But Jim Kelly at least had the argument that he dominated a conference for 4 years straight. Is that his fault? His kicker couldn't make a game-winning field goal. That's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah,
least
but
when the
all
moment
those
arose,
that was one game, I mean, and they still lost. I mean,
Yeah,
the other
but-
ones that I mean, they got absolutely obliterated by whether
were-
it be the Cowboys or whoever.
yeah, I
You
mean
know,
they're definitely they were the bench of the NFC East back then because they lost to each team in the Super Bowl. But my point is, at least for those years, Jim Kelly showed up when it mattered. There were too many times where, and this is the best
when it
example for me.
mattered was at
Especially
the
those
Super Bowl,
MVP
and he
seasons,
didn't
right?
show up.
But Aaron Rodgers' MVP seasons, with the exception of the first one, each one he had after that, the team lost in the first round. Like,
Okay, so go back
what
to
are
your
we talking
original.
about here?
Well, go back to your original question, though. Which one is the biggest flop? Is that the way I
No,
heard it?
No. No. Is he considered or could be considered one of the greatest underachievers given what his talent is?
Yeah. And under that context, I would say yes, as far as talent to expectations. Talent is off the charts. That's like Joe Burrow, right? If Joe Burrow never went back to another Super Bowl, he's incredibly talented. You can make the same argument for him that underachieved with all that talent, just on that only. But if you're trying to add other criteria, I would disagree.
No. Well, just to address that though, I wouldn't say that Joe Burrow is an underachiever, given the fact of what organization he plays for. The Green Bay Packers are they great. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. The Cincinnati Bengals are a corner store franchise. The Green Bay Packers are a cornerstone franchise. They operate completely different. At least the Green Bay Packers know how to construct a team to win championships. Aaron Rodgers just failed to actually deliver for them. Joe Burrow, the team on his damn back, and carried this moribund franchise to a Super Bowl, and they haven't been able to get back because, again, the management of the franchise is completely back. I'm I didn't mean to pivot. I didn't mean to pivot that hard, but we do. But Angry Joy, you do have explaining to do. Let's talk about this Jags Bronco game better, buddy. What in the hell happened?
For a change, the Broncos defense didn't show up. I don't think they got off the bus. I mean, they actually put up some points, so their offense didn't look bad, but honestly, I think that it doesn't surprise me because the Jags, they're on a heater. They've been playing some mean fucking football, and they've been beating some good teams. They kind of scare me. And for a change, Lawrence actually looks like that number one overall talent. I don't know what it is. I think it's like one. I think we kind of got to go back to the topic of coaching and culture and stuff. I think they're trying to fix that. And yeah, the Broncos, I think they got lackadaisical. I think they got a little bit arrogant. I think that this was a good grounding tool for them. But it's a dangerous game that they're playing right now, because it could get them out of the first seed. I mean, I hate losing. I hate it when my Broncos lose. But if there was a game to lose, this was going to be the one. I mean, now the next two games against the Chargers, and then the next one against the Chiefs, and then the following one, the final week of the season being against the Chargers, and that could be very pivotal. We'll see what happens. So if the Broncos actually win this next one against the Chiefs, they're without Mahomes, and the Chiefs' defense is depleted. Their wide receivers and their running backs are questionable, but their defense is still really good, and they're in Arrowhead, so they got to win this one. Otherwise, they're going to play against the Chargers for, as you said it last week, win or play all. Now the Broncos, they actually they've already clinched a playoff spot, but I don't think that's enough for them. They want to actually get that. They want to get that seed, but I think with this loss, that was really, really dangerous. And the fact that they lost at home, that's disturbing, and the fact of how they lost, they got their asses whipped. Their defense Denver's defense looked really, really bad, while Jags defense looked really, really good. And not only that, ETN, he was just chewing them up. And where he was actually letting off Trevor Lawrence, he actually looked like sunshine all of a sudden, and I'm like, where the fuck did this quarterback come from, but I mean, he's been doing it for the last 2-3 weeks, and that's what kind of scares me. The Jags, they are really pulling things together at the right time.
Yep.
They could be a really scary team coming into the playoffs.
Well, remember how they were all giving the GM of the Jags heat because he traded those picks to get Travis Hunter, and then Travis Hunter goes down.
Yeah.
Their first start of the season didn't go as planned, but they stuck to it. That just goes to show you, man, culture matters as well as coaching, as you said, in an organization. And that is what probably has a lot to do with their success.
And let me ask you this. Okay, and now this is a very, very sidebar here. And I'm not trying to poo-poo on the Raiders any more than I already do. But do you think that could possibly be a problem with the Raiders when it comes to, how their success is the culture?
Yeah.
Do they really have a strong fan base in Vegas now that they've actually moved away from Oakland?
Yeah. So Antonio Pierce kind of talked about that. It said there's some deep organizational problems. And to answer your question, no, I don't think. I think going to Vegas was good from a business perspective because it is now considered the sports capital of the world. But there's no loyal fan base like if they were still in Oakland. Like almost everybody who went to a Raiders game, a home game in Oakland, it was all black jerseys. Now, if
Yeah,
you see a Vegas game, it's like half and half. You know what I'm
that's my
saying?
point. And I kind of,
Yeah,
and that's what I kind of go back to. I mean, you look at the Steelers, you look at the
yeah,
Broncos, you look at some of these other teams that have this crazy freaking following. I mean,
Browns.
you look at these away games and you see opposite jerseys that are completely outweighing the home team. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, I
Well,
would agree with you.
And so that's when I made the argument about the culture being a thing. I mean, that's kind of what I was referring to. And I think that with Vegas, that's a problem because I mean, you're going to Vegas. Well, who the fuck goes to Vegas? Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to Vegas, I mean, and there is no fan base. There's no freaking allegiance or anything like that. And I don't think that Davis actually really thought that through when he actually made that transition. He should have just rebuilt in Oakland if it could have been done. But hey,
Well,
man,
Vegas gave him all the money in the world and
well,
all the
sure,
tax breaks in the world and all that
but at
shit.
the same time, here's the other thing: he could have came to, I don't know, San
Yeah,
Antonio. It
yeah,
would
he
have
could have.
actually built him a new stadium, and he wouldn't even have had to change the fucking colors or anything like
Right,
that. And it would have
right,
actually given him a true fan base,
right. And
not
I guarantee
some
you,
kind of manufactured box
exactly.
office seats pricks,
Yeah,
that are actually sitting up there, just collecting paychecks, using for some kind of a political divide, you know. But
yeah,
anyway,
well,
my point is that the back to your point, I apologize, guys. I totally derailed, but it goes back to my point why the culture really is important, and this is why Denver has actually been so successful over the years. I mean, and because yeah, they've had their slump over the last 10 years,
yeah,
but they're coming back. I mean, because the Broncos fans, they don't fail. They persevere, and that includes myself. I mean, and here's hoping that this next week they take it to the Chiefs for a second time.
well, I think well, first, number one, I feel like now that the Chiefs no longer have Mahomes and Gardner Minshew also is gone with a torn ACL, I don't think y'all have a problem winning this game. Let's just start with that.
Well, okay,
Um,
so that's the thing though. A quarterback is not going to stop the game, because the Chiefs in Arrowhead, they're still going to be a problem.
the refs can't save it. Like
right.
let's cut that out. The
Exactly.
refs can't save this version of the Chiefs. The refs can't save them. Okay, let's nah. They're done. They're barbecue chicken. They
Well,
are done.
we already know they're cooked, but at the same time, some of these guys that are coming in, they could be playing for pride. They could be playing for roster spots. There's a lot of incentive for them to play some really good football. So, I mean,
Yes.
I caution my Broncos, don't take this fucking game lightly. You need to
No,
go in
you
there
can't.
and dominate.
No, you can't come off. You can't come off a loss like that and then go into this game and play lackadaisical. I guarantee you, Sean Payton will be on their asses, and I'm pretty sure he already has been for as soon as that game was over.
Oh yeah,
So, so
he was
I'm
not
pretty
happy.
sure you're gonna be fired up, ready to go. I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah.
But to touch on your Raiders point, just real quick, there's two things that the Raiders do not have. Number one, they don't have an identity. We have no idea what they're bringing to the table as when the game starts.
Isn't that a
And
shame? Because I mean, up until the last 5 years, they were full of fucking identity. Everybody know who the Raiders were. I mean,
no, not not the reputation. I said identity. When you see the Raiders, and please, Mr. Raider, please help me understand. In the recent years, when you look at the Oakland Raiders or Vegas Raiders in this case, what could you attach to that you know they're going to bring every single week?
Max Crosby.
Dude, honestly, I was
Listen.
actually going to just say the same thing. If you could actually take what 52 more Max Crosbys and put them on the Raiders,
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
but
and we kind of talked a little bit about this last week, you know, in the sense that I hate the Raiders, but I love certain players, you know, the Howie Longs and the, you know, and Max Crosby. I mean, he's just a consummate Raider. He is so awesome. He's so fun to watch. He's so enthusiastic and just he's just rabid. I mean, he is the proverbial Raider. You
yes,
know, I mean,
but
and yeah,
you're missing my point. Max Crosby is one man. If this was a battle of mascots, yes, he'll be the perfect dude that represent the Raiders. But I'm talking about when, like, coming off the bus, the only person you're worried about, well, actually, the two people that you're worried about right now is Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. That's it. Everywhere else, there's nothing that intimidates anyone looking at the Oakland Raiders or the Vegas Raiders right now. And until that changes, like, look, if we're going to rebuild this offensive line and we're just going to ground and pound your happy butts like the Pittsburgh Steelers do or used to do, right? You know, stop the run and run the ball, much like how the Houston Texans are right now. Even though their offense is struggling, but you know that defense is going to show up every week. That's the point. You don't have that right now with Oakland. And to be quite honest with you, you're not going to have that as long as you have this archaic coaching staff that has no idea. They'll have can't tell the difference between their hands and their head up their ass.
yeah.
It's
That's
until you got to rebuild it and you know, bring in a fiery head coach that says, I am going to take this thing and this is what we're going to be bringing to the football field each and every week, win, lose, or draw. And eventually that will change in turn. It might, you know, start a little rough, but it can change as long as you have that commitment and you stick to it.
So you mean
know?
like a coach like Freeman?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Hey.
Give me Tomlin or Freeman.
Hey. Ooh. Oh my God. Tomlin? He would be perfect. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
He would be perfect. Like
that's my if I can get because like, you know, he can't be happy in Pittsburgh, man. He can't be. So come on over to the Raiders, man. You can have carte blanche. You can build this shit the right way, not worry about a dipshit GM. And let's go. Let's get to work.
That's the thing. That's the thing. If Mark Davis told Mike Tomlin's like, look, you have full control over this entire organization. And yes, Tom Brady will not be bothering you. As soon as those two things happen, it's out to the races. Give it a year, give it 2 years. You'll change that thing around.
Oh, that's the problem, though. Do you think that Tom Brady is going to allow that?
Fuck what he wants to do. It's Mike Tomlin.
Well, no, I agree with you, but do you think that that's going to be the case? You know, I mean, he's got some pull. I'm just saying.
I'll see how.
Tomlin will tell him himself. Shut the up, you 1% owner, you.
Yeah.
And sit down and shut up and commentate this game I'm coaching.
Yeah. There you go.
Or as in Tomlin language, we've already addressed that in that fashion and manner. You know, fucking his Tomlinisms. Like, come on, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just like Tom. Like one of the things Tomlin likes to say: we want volunteers, not hostages. So
that's right. That's right.
So you gonna get on board or you not? It's up to you, and that includes Tom Brady too.
Yeah.
But let's wrap it up here. So the Monday night game, which is near and dear to my heart because it allowed me to get into the fantasy football playoffs or the championship. The 49ers beat the Colts, and Brock Purdy's, I would say, best statistical performance of his career, 295 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. But the team, I mean, they put in that work, and they're 11-4. They are they're in lockstep with the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks right now. And these last 2 weeks, at least for the NFC West, are going to come down to the very last game here. But I have to say, just real quickly, the coach of the year, honestly, I feel like should be Mike Shanahan. And
Mike,
I'm sorry, I said Mike.
Kyle.
Kyle. Yes, sorry, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be him.
Over McVay?
Yes. And here's the reason why. And as I say this, it's going to immediately piss me off because what he's able to achieve with this team, as injury-ridden as they have been, to still be able to put together the type of performances that they have been is absolutely commendable. And at the same time, it makes me upset because I had a coach last year who did the same thing, but they accomplished a record of 15-2 and did not receive Coach of the Year. So I have a feeling this is going to happen. I will be happy for Kyle Shanahan because it makes sense. But I will equally be upset because we've seen this type of performance happen last year with a better record, and it didn't achieve the same result. So I just wanted to get that off my chest.
I don't disagree with you at all on that take. I mean, Shanahan, okay, so the name is a little near and dear to my heart for obvious reasons. But at the same time, what he's able to do with the injuries that he's actually had to sustain on his roster has been nothing short of remarkable. And he's lost a lot of talent, even on the offensive side. So I don't disagree with you all, dude.
Very true. Very true. But I think a case could still be made for Sean McVay as well, though. But
don't get me wrong, there's plenty of candidates. Sean McVay, Mike Vrabel.
What about
Ben
North
Johnson?
Carolina coach? What's his name? What's his name in North Carolina?
Dave Canales?
Yeah.
Dave
What about
Canales.
that?
Yeah.
And remember, Carolina looked like straight up garbage, July garbage juice.
Dude, not only that, but he's got that defense playing
very well. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. There's plenty of candidates to go around, and dare I say, and not to sound like a homer, but Sean Payton, look at what he's actually been able to do.
Sure.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be one of the hardest.
Pete Carroll, you some bitch.
Pete Carroll, I think he fits in the bottom cellar somewhere around there.
Man,
put his ass in a retirement home.
Yeah, he needs to go, dude.
Sorry, I left turned on you. My bad.
Is that Raider support group coming in therapy session? That's it's fine. It's fine. But I do have to ask this question, right? So, given what we've seen this season from Brock Purdy, the lack of weapons because Debo's not there anymore. Ayuk, I don't know what he's doing. Ricky Pearsall has been in and out.
What's his problem anyway? Like
I have no idea. Excuse me. I don't know, but despite all of that, Brock Purdy has been performing very, very well.
Well, he has, but at the same time, he does have a couple of mediocre players by the name of George Kittle and
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but those two are the oldest on the team. I thought it was going to be a matter of time, like the amount of carries that they're giving McCaffrey. I thought he was about to. I thought he was about to bust something, especially with some of the injuries that we have seen. So some of these other running backs this year,
you regret
I was like,
taking that trade off from now, don't you, motherfucker? Huh? I bet you regret not taking that trade off from now. You,
me?
Yeah.
Look. My roster didn't necessarily need Christian McCaffrey, and I'll be honest, I still hold the same principle that that somebody of his age and his usage is that something I feel like is a ticking time bomb, and I did not want that on my roster. I still feel that way, despite of what the result is. I still feel like it was the right process. So, but hey, I don't. It is no disrespect to Christian McCaffrey. I actually love him, but it's just that when it comes to fantasy football, it's a young man's game. I'm sorry.
You conspiring motherfuckers! I didn't know you had some backroom deal going on.
What do you mean
backroom deal? Not at all.
McCaffrey.
I was trying to get a fucking trade done.
This was but this was during the off season though. Like it wasn't like it wasn't during the season. No. But yeah, I just feel like Purdy's reputation definitely should be, should take a step up. And I'll be honest with you, and Mr. Raider, you might not like this, but I think some significant consideration needs to be made that Brock Purdy needs to be elevated above Jalen Hurts from what I've seen this year.
Oh, this year, sure, but bro, you've got to go to the Super Bowl and you've got to win it. Jalen Hurts has done that.
Yeah, but I can also make the argument that the last Super Bowl that the 49ers were in had nothing to do with Brock Purdy. It wasn't his fault. It was Shanahan's fault for not running the ball.
Sure, and I can make the argument the Super Bowls that Jalen Hurts has been in, he wasn't the problem. He was the only bright spot, especially when they lost to KC. Look at his numbers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I just see you just shut him up there, Mr. Raider.
No, I think.
Wow.
I think
I just heard him gasp. I mean, twice. He's like,
Well, I don't completely.
In a second, I think that's probably
No. I don't completely disagree with you, but I just feel like that the disrespect that gets levied towards Purdy is a little bit overstated, and I feel like some of the praise that Jalen Hurts does get is a little bit overstated as well. Only because he isn't required to do what Brock Purdy has to do more often. That's all.
Okay, let's not forget Brock Purdy didn't exactly have a stellar year last year before he got hurt. Okay? Now, we all know it didn't look like it like this year. This year, not even in his first year as a starter did it look like this year. Okay? So, yeah, he's gotten better, but last year, man, before he got hurt, he wasn't looking all that great.
Yeah, but conversely, I would say Jalen Hurts has yet to eclipse 3,000 yards in his career.
Well, you don't need to. Well, dude, he threw for 2,800 when they won the Super Bowl, and that's with a 2,000-yard rusher. Why would you need to? So that argument right there doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you didn't have a running game, then sure, I could be like, okay, well, obviously you're going to have to pass more. If he doesn't get to 3,000 yards, you would have an argument. But they ran for 2,000 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Non sequitur.
Okay, so that translates to this year. Saquon is not performing at the same rate that he was last year, and it should lean towards Jalen Hurts being able to elevate and do what needs to be done. But he has fallen short more times than he has succeeded.
That's what I just said. I was agreeing with you. I said it in that context. Yeah.
So, okay.
I was agreeing with you, brother.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to always be confrontational. But either way, we can talk about this in the off season. But just real quick, we can just preview these games real quick for Week 17. We got the Eagles, the aforementioned Eagles, as we just talked about them. They're going to the Bills this week to take on the Bills. The Bills are 1.5-point favorites, and I think it's more on the Bills to actually win the game here. They didn't look too great against the Browns either. Let's also point that out. Josh Allen did not look like the Superman that everybody capes him up to be, even though they got away with the win. And the Eagles, well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
to be fair,
the Commanders.
Josh Allen did have a foot injury too.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So either it was his ankle or it was his heel. But either way, he had a foot injury, so that's why he was a little bit hobbled.
Oh, poor baby.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
the Bills are the luckiest fucking team ever, man. I just.
Okay.
Anyway, that's right. Another. I'll save that for another episode.
All right. Well, I really don't. The Eagles should take this game seriously because they need to make sure that their offense is right heading into the playoffs. But going into Buffalo, I don't know what the weather's going to be, but I think when it comes to the battle of the quarterbacks, I'm definitely going to take Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts. So I say the Bills win 28-27. All
right, matchup. Okay. And I think I'm going to semi-agree with you, but I think that the Bills are going to do it a little bit more expeditiously. I think that they're going to be 21-13.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I got the Bills winning this one because this is the playoff game for them. They need it. They need this. So I think they're going to win by 10 points.
Oh, that's good. And there'll be a whole lot of drama for Philly fans.
Yep.
All right. So next game is the Bears, who are number 11 on the week. They go to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, who are number 9 on the week. They are a 3-point favorite, the 49ers are. And I think Caleb Williams is about to go down. I feel like Robert Saleh and that defense is ready to take him apart. And all of this hoopla that the Bears have been getting, despite the fact that they are NFC North, they're on top of the NFC North right now, I still think it's slightly bit of fool's gold. And this will prove, or this will test the mettle of Caleb Williams. But I think he will fail. The 49ers will win 35-17.
Wow. Interesting take. Okay, so gosh dang. I hate to say this, man, but I think that the Bears are going to take this one.
Okay.
I just think that they're riding a hot streak and that their defense and their offensive line looks really, really, really good. I'm going to take but nevertheless, I think it's going to be a tight game. So I'm going to say 23-21 Bears.
Yeah, I kind of see it the same way y'all do. Caleb Williams looked like an absolute rock star last week. He was making all kinds of throws. That one throw, hopping off of one leg, going out of bounds, throwing it 60 yards to the end zone. And one hell of a catch, by the way. That was one hell of a catch.
Yeah.
He's looking good. And their defense seems like they've figured it out. And I know earlier on the year I was very high on the Bears, and they let me down after week 4, and I was like, I'm never picking them again. So this time, though, I think I'm going to let my logic take over, and I'm going to say the Bears by a touchdown.
Y'all smell that? I smell a beer bet.
Oh,
I like if you both of y'all taking the Bears, I'm taking the 49ers. I smell a beer bet.
Okay, I'm with it. As long as it ain't no
cool.
Uncle Nearest.
I was going to say, you
No,
guys
no
already
Uncle
know.
Nearest this time.
Say both of you guys owe me one already, so why would I Welsh on something like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
Go back and listen, fool. You'll find out.
And it's, well, it. Hey, maybe this cancels us out if I'm successful. Well,
You
I'm
can still
down.
buy me a beer anyway. How about that?
That's
Don't
fine.
threaten me with a good time.
All right. Okay, so the last game for this week is the number 14 Houston Texans going to the number 13 LA Chargers. The
Ooh, I
Chargers
like
are
this game.
2.5. Yeah, a lot of playoff implications here. The Chargers are 2.5 point favorites here. I don't quite understand it, but
Where's it
the
at
Chargers.
again? Where's it at?
It's in LA. It's in LA. Yeah, I think that the Texans. I forgot. I thought they'd lost last week. I think they lost last week, or maybe they didn't look too great. But anyway,
No, the Texans won last week.
they did.
Texas
Okay,
won.
yeah, I know.
Both teams won.
Yeah, well, but the Chargers played the Cowboys. That don't count. I feel like the Texans are turning it on. They're turning into that quote unquote team you don't want to play in the playoffs, right? Type situation. And despite the fact of how the Chargers look, I mean, they basically had a simulated practice against a no-look Cowboys defense. So now they face a real defense this week, and I think the Texans will take them, I say 24-20.
Okay. This is a really tough one to corral here. I am actually going to go with Houston, though. I just think that they actually are going off of all cylinders right now. I think the Chargers, they're still a little bit suspect. What gives me a little bit of pause is the fact that they are actually in LA. And Herbert, how the hell do you know how he's going to play? But I'm actually going to say Houston, though.
Mine.
I'm going to say Houston 31-28.
Yeah, I kind of see it that way too, Angry Joey. But here's the thing: the Chargers need this game more than the Texans do because they're trying to finish as the number 1 seed, and if they can do that, they get a home game. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I think this is going to be a very good game, but I'm still going to say that the Texans edge this out because of the play of the defense and C.J. Stroud, and I had the Texans winning by a field goal.
Okay.
Kind of what I just said, right?
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I see it very similar.
Okay. Well, that takes care of the week 17 preview. Now, just so we're clear, do we still want to make our picks for sleeper stud duds, or we're just going to call it here?
No, we're just going to call it. I think week 16 is a good time to call it, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
but if y'all
I have
don't
some
agree,
doozies for you.
that's fine.
I have some doozies for you. That's the only reason why I brought it up. I got some doozies for you, and I finally caught up to you, happy people, and I was ready to roll. But that's fine. Okay. Well, if we're calling it here, I guess this is our own version of soccer because we got ties all over the place.
Yeah, what's
we're
the standings?
We're finishing up. There's a tie at first with Mr. Raider and myself with 22 points, and there's a tie at second with Angry Joey and Woo Pig with 21 points.
Losers. I'm just kidding.
If either you're first or you're last.
Yeah.
But the person who actually is last is Tony with takes with 16 points. But but unfortunately, he did not have he didn't submit his pick, so he can catch up. So it is what it is. But
I kind of think you're skewing the numbers, man. This sounds like corruption. I mean, oh my God, you sound like a boxing promotion.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I just this doesn't smell right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think you're just skewing things here, man.
Okay.
I might, I'm gonna have to put in a formal protest. I think
Who's your supervisor?
Oh, okay. So you want visual proof? Well, let's go down the line here. Let's start with your picks first. There, Angry Joey, you did get 1 point. You did get 1 point for your Omarion Hampton pick because he was in the top 24. But however, your stud pick of Devontae Smith did not pan out. Your dub pick for Travis Etienne did not pan out, and your Dolphins upset pick did not pan out. So, am I lying here?
I think there's lies there. It just sounds like conspiracy.
Oh my God. Okay. You know what? Whatever. You know what? The committee will gather. The committee will gather to.
He got you again.
No, he didn't. It's just no.
You absolutely reek of conspiracy here. I mean, it just this sounds way.
You know what? And that's exactly what.
And by the way, I'm number 1. Whatever.
Well, technically, since I just got here, I'm just sharing space with Mr. Raider here. So, him and his safe picks. Let's also point that out.
Whatever. That's Freddie fake news. Whatever.
Okay. All right. But hey, it's just like every other loser, you just blame the refs. Is that what happens?
No, because I'm too busy winning.
No, I'm talking about Angry Joey. So he's like, you're this is just throwing out conspiracies and stuff like that. That's what you have to lean towards. You can't lean on the facts here.
Yes, it's the fucking refs. That's the reason why he dropped the pass.
So I just came across as looking like the freaking Chiefs of the freaking podcast is what I did. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. There you go. But just a little side note, just real quick. Can we talk about DK Metcalf real quick?
Yeah.
Before we start off here.
Yeah.
So in case anybody is not aware, DK Metcalf has been suspended for the next 2 games because of an altercation that he had with a fan in their game against Detroit.
Okay, so I saw, so he smacked he punched
a dude. Yes,
whooped a dude a fan in the crowd. Does anybody know what that started?
He had him by the shirt, and then decided to give him a little punch in the face as he was walking away.
The fan actually had Metcalf by the shirt?
No. Metcalf had the fan by the shirt.
Yeah, Metcalf grabbed him.
Oh,
now, let me say first, as a Lions fan, I do not condone this type of behavior because I'm getting sick and tired of fans thinking they are so entitled that they can say whatever they want and do whatever they want because of the ticket that they bought. The ticket that you buy is only for the seat that you are sitting in. That's it. That's all it allows you to do. You can cheer, you can boo, you can say some things, but don't start crossing lines. Okay. Now, as far as DK Metcalf is concerned, you got to have more self-control than that, bro. You just do.
Let me ask you this: did the fan and I didn't see this, but did the fan actually put hands on DK Metcalf?
No.
No.
Wow.
Now the things that he said, allegedly,
Racist, I'm sure, all that.
there
other
was some
bullshit.
sprinkle of that,
Which
and
he denies, and through his attorney, he also denies ever saying any racial slurs or anything like that.
Who's that?
No.
Fan?
The fan. Right. Now, I'm going to present both sides here, and we can judge accordingly. Now, the first thing is the proof will be in the pudding, because the one thing that we do know is that the NFL has microphones and cameras everywhere, so they'll be able to quickly isolate the sound, the voice of that man speaking towards DK.
And his attorney already alluded to that fact that there's video evidence as well as other witnesses that were around him that can corroborate that he never said a racial slur or anything like that to him. And they're fixing to sue. So you don't go up against the NFL without having that shit together. You know what I'm saying?
100%. So that leads to my second point. So that'll get fought out in court, right? I will say that if there is any truth to what DK's side of the story is, if there's any truth to it, it will come out, and it will come out quickly, especially when it comes to lawsuits, because the NFL don't play when it comes to lawsuits.
Right.
Now on the DK side of things, well, actually no. Before I even touch DK, let's go to the NFL here, because at what point, when you're allowed to actually put hands on somebody in the audience, you're allowed to touch hands and nothing happens in that instance? That's ridiculous. And we all know, just because there wasn't a flag and a referee didn't see it, of course the referee's not going to see it, because the referee's too busy. I don't know, paying attention to what's happening inside the white lines. Okay, there's no referees out there, and it's not supposed to be. So what are you talking about? Stop trying to cover yourselves and like, oh, well, we didn't see it, so it didn't happen. No, it actually did happen, and the NFL has eyes in the sky all over the place. Word can come down just like they do for concussions. They can come down and let the refs know, hey, there's an altercation that happened involving DK Metcalf. He needs to be at the game. So let's stop that. Now, DK Metcalf specifically, you just cost yourself a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Because your feelings got hurt.
Because his feelings got hurt, he now has lost, or he voided out his guarantee on his contract that he just signed with the Steelers this year. He just voided all of it, all $55 million of it.
That's if the Steelers do that.
I don't know how much. Well, that's all in the language of the contract. If that's what's in there, I mean, they had no choice. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah. And here's another thing from a Steelers perspective. If this man is actually suspended for the next 2 games, well, I mean, the Steelers, they're in the playoff mix.
Yep.
They're, I mean, that is big time trouble. They lose their biggest receiver because of some
nonsense. Only receivers for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, Calvin Austin, do you think he's going to carry him?
Not like that. No,
not like that. I mean, because he's not 6'10", and built like a fucking linebacker. I mean, so I don't understand. I just don't get it. So first of all, if this fan actually did issue some racial comments or whatever, which is unsubstantiated at this point, but if he did, he should be banned from NFL life forever. I'm just saying.
Yes, absolutely.
There is absolutely no excuse for that bullshit at all.
Absolutely.
It disgusts me to no end.
Yes.
But if DK Metcalf is actually manufacturing some kind of racist stuff that actually came up that wasn't there, well, shame on him, because that's, I mean, I don't know what the answer is here, gentlemen, but either way, it's an ugly situation. But the fact of the matter is that DK Metcalf, even if the guy actually did offer some horrendous language to him, the fact that he put hands on him, dude, that is no bueno. I'm just saying.
So I have a take on this, right? And it's two-sided. One, look, from what I saw, again, and I don't know the whole story, but what I saw, DK had this fan by the shirt. DK was on the field, the fan was in the stand, had him by his shirt, and was saying something to him. And obviously, I don't know about you fellas, but if someone's grabbing me by the shirt and is talking shit to me, I'm gonna say some shit back, right?
Oh, 100%.
And I'm not just gonna let you talk to me some kind of way while you're holding my shirt. So I don't.
No, honestly,
begrudge.
if somebody's holding my shirt, we're throwing hands. I mean, at that point.
So I don't begrudge.
You done made it physical. I mean, so anything's on the table at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I might get my ass kicked because, I mean, DK Metcalf is a big motherfucker, but at the same time, I mean,
doesn't mean he can fight. I've seen NBA players; they can't fight. So look, what I'm saying is like, okay, in that interaction, if he did a racial slur to him or said some shit, okay, and it's recorded, yes, ban him for life, all that other kind of shit, okay. But keep in mind, DK walked from the sideline where the bench, over there to him. He walked over there to him, okay, and made contact with him. So number one, you can make the case that he did an assault on this guy. So there's legal ramifications there. That's number one. Number two, okay, fans talk shit to players that are on the field. Players talk shit to other players. There's been fights on the field where people are getting spit on each other because they said something inappropriate. Like, go to a hockey game, go to a baseball game, go to a basketball, go to where the Boston Celtics play, and whenever their fans have opposing visitors, they say some vile, foul shit. So what I'm saying though is like DK, this is all on DK. You should have known better, bro. Like, you could talk shit back to him from the sideline where you're at. You can tell him, that's why I fucked your mama, or hey, what your mama doing tonight? Whatever you want to say to him, you could have said it back. Just don't go put hands on somebody. Unless he is physically threatening you or a member of your family, then that's pursuit. That's way too much money to not even be able to whoop somebody's ass. Because what he did was he grabbed my shirt and then he threw a punch on and then walked away. Like, that's a move in my opinion. If you're going to whoop his ass, whoop his ass.
He actually walked out on his own team. I mean, the Steelers, what are they going to do without him now? I mean, they're
team. He himself out of the contract, and on the top of that, he's going to have legal ramifications, and the fan is going to sue, which rightfully so, whether you feel he deserved it or not. If someone grabs you and assaults you, basically over words. Now, there are some words that will get your ass whooped. I agree. But in the matter of law, if you touch somebody that they don't want you doing it, that's considered assault.
The street rules, and there's the law. And just to your point, DK Metcalf leads the team with 59 receptions amongst the wide receivers. The next one is Calvin Austin with 28.
Yeah, he messed his team up.
Yeah. So I think they play Cleveland, I want to say.
It's a win.
I don't know. I don't know. It's at Cleveland. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they play
goes on the side.
Yeah, and then they play Baltimore the last game of the season. Fortunately, he's in Pittsburgh, but still. Now I think they caught a break because Lamar Jackson, I don't know what his status is. But either way, again, this is probably some of the things that allowed the Seattle Seahawks to trade DK in the first place. Somebody with that type of talent, but he just doesn't always keep his head in the game. And this is not the first time that he has caught, he's been caught doing some stupid stuff behavior-wise in Detroit. Like, I don't know what it is with him, but he just gets caught up in stuff. And so
maybe it's the water.
Hey, that's a bad joke.
Too soon?
Yeah, that's way too soon, man. Come on.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, you might want to edit that one out too.
Yeah, I'm bleeping that out. But yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' thought on that. But because of his own actions, DK's own actions, he cost himself $55 million. So I hope that one punch that he threw was worth it because
God,
it's
can you imagine $55
$55.
million?
Yeah.
How in the do you realize how many lives that would change? $55 million.
I'm just glad this is his second contract and not his first.
Hey,
Because
but you take that money and you pay somebody to whoop his ass. You don't get your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying?
God
Right.
bless America. That's horrible.
And just to reiterate the point that you mentioned, Mr. Raider, like I've been to a few full football games at this point. The distance between where the stands are and where the player bench is, there's a significant amount of distance. Given the fact of where he was going, it wasn't like a direct shot, like directly behind the bench. Like he had to walk a ways to actually get to this dude. So first of all, how could you possibly isolate exactly who the person you were talking to or you're having this conversation with, right? That's number one. And then number two is, again, and I know how loud, we all know how loud Ford Field can be. We've seen it in consistent, primetime games this year and years past. So again, how is it that amongst everybody screaming to the top of their lungs, you as DK Metcalf have Superman hearing, and you can isolate one individual saying something about yourself and your mama? Now, I don't understand.
Or how is it that this, again, allegedly, right? This white person says these racial slurs in a full crowd at a game with everybody around. He's going to call you a racial slur. Come on, bro.
In Detroit. Now, let's talk about that too now. This is in Detroit.
Okay, so that's borderline suicidal. If he actually dropped an N-bomb in Detroit,
allegedly or whatever,
you're a dead man. I mean, my God.
Right. And to say it loud enough. Yeah, and to say it loud enough that a football player can hear it from the bench.
Right. I can tell you right now, coming from one of the most conservative cities in America, which is in Cheyenne, Wyoming. If somebody dropped an N-bomb like that at a football game, everybody in that stadium looking at them like, what
the hell
you fucking do? In Detroit, you're like, you are a dead man.
Yeah.
You won't even make it to the car.
No, absolutely not. And you ain't make it to the end of the road.
For this man's sake, let's hope that he did not do that.
Yeah, I hope he didn't do that because you got to be one dumb motherfucker to do that.
And for DK Metcalf, I mean, and if that's what he heard, let's hope that he's just a moron and did a stupid thing that cost him $55 million.
Yeah.
But if he's lying to say that again, I don't know if it's true or not, but if he's lying and that guy never said that, that's a foul thing to do to somebody. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah. Well, and not only that, but it's kind of an antithesis on, some of the things that we're actually dealing. How often are we so willing to cry racism? When there might not actually be there. But on the converse side, there is true racism in this world. And I don't want to diminish that. So
we definitely don't want to do that. You know what? It all comes down to one word: maturity.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf should have at this point, for as long as he's been in the league, he should have the maturity to know, okay, as tempting as it is, it's not the best idea for you, an NFL football player, to go towards the stands and actually grab somebody and punch them. Not the best idea in the world.
Right.
And as far as the fans go, hey, don't be stupid and calling out. First of all, out of all the people on the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to call out DK Metcalf of all people. I mean, the only person worse possibly that you could call out is Darnell Washington, who's 6'7", 350 pounds.
Tell you what, why
don't somebody your own size like Kenneth Gainwell?
Let's go to a Cleveland game and actually call out Myles Garrett.
Right. Yeah. I'm feeling frisky today. Let's go ahead and do that.
I woke up feeling dangerous. Dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's be better people. Let's be better humans. How about that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well
All right.
said.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I guess that just leaves Alamo Minute or Kiss My Grits. So for those who aren't familiar with the segment, Alamo Minute, you just take a minute to say a shout out to a business, a person, something positive that might have happened to you at work or in your personal life, whatever you want to share, by all means. A Kiss My Grits is somebody or something or some situation that is annoying or obnoxious or just gets on your last goddamn nerve. That's the time to say it. So let's turn it over to Hater. Do you have a Kiss My Grits or Alamo Minute, sir, or both?
I have a Kiss My Grits today. And unfortunately, it is somebody or a group of people that have received a lot of Kiss My Grits, and it's the NFL refs.
Ooh.
Now, I'm really getting sick and tired of having these conversations with y'all. But I'm gonna need y'all to come on down so I can talk to you real quick. I'm really, and this is, I have to get this off my chest because as a Lions fan, I have just seen too many times where the referees have managed to manufacture more ways to take points away from us than for my whole entire lifetime. Like I've had enough. I've had enough of this, and this latest installment was just the straw that broke the camel's back for me. The mere fact that you 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 announce that a touchdown was scored, but the scoring play could not be reviewed or overturned. Therefore, it will not count. Game over. Where did that come from? I mean, again, I have watched NFL football for 35, probably 35 plus years, I'll just say, just to be fair to myself. And again, I have never seen this just making up stuff. I'm really just, I don't know what we did. I don't know what we did as Detroit Lions. I don't know what we did to the NFL. I don't know what we did to the referees. But this is getting out of hand. Do we need to send y'all some payments? Do we need to pull a Notre Dame and just have a memorandum of understanding or something like that? Just where we can apologize to you? I don't know. But this is like just, we finally have a football product that we could be proud of. And we don't need you guys to interfere with it in such a way to take points away, ultimately taking wins away, and now taking playoff hopes away. Now, I did mention in our last pod, I don't mind us losing so that we have a draft pick just to do some repair and stuff like that. But doing it in this way, absolutely not. I'm really getting tired of it. And for God's sake, NFL, just as a side note, you need to employ the refs full time so that they can actually get their craft correct instead of doing these run-of-the-mill, piecemeal officiating episodes that causes so much anguish, not just for me as a Lions fan, but all fans across the NFL, especially when you try to lean towards one team over another. And for God's sake, you actually allowed Aaron Rodgers and his pompous assery to be able to come out of the fourth field with a victory when he had no business doing it. I can't stand you for allowing that to happen. It gets on my absolute last nerve. And for God's sake, you can kiss my grits, NFL refs. Kiss my grits. I'm done.
Well, okay. I'll save mine for Angry Joey. You got an Alamo Minute, Kiss My Grits, or both?
Okay, Hater, are you sure that's all?
Yeah,
My-
I'm good. I gotta leave the floor for y'all, so go ahead.
Finally. Okay, got it. So I have nothing. I have just how should I say this? The fondest wishes for you and your families, to all our friends and listeners, that you have a very, very blessed and wonderful Christmas. That's all I got.
Okay, I'm gonna tone it down. I have a Kiss My Grits, and this is gonna be 2-0 show history for me. It's the Notre Dame AD for the second time. Put on some of that chapstick Get your ass down here. Let me holler at you. Roll with me for a second. You, sir, are screwing your university over. You're a freaking moron. And USC is better off without you until you come back because we broke up. Let that sink in. Let that marinate. And on top of that, if you don't join a conference soon, I am not going to complain 1 second or give a thought to other teams that write you off their schedule because of your pompousness. So forget you AD punk, come down here and kiss these grits. Well,
Yes.
that's it. So once again, thank you everybody for listening, for supporting us. If you want to get a hold of us or see what we got going on, Hater, please let them know how they can get in contact with us.
Absolutely. If you want to check us out on podcast form, you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, or Overcast at The 210 Show. If you want to watch us eventually on YouTube, we are available at The 210 Show Pod. We also have a Discord link there. And please feel free to tip the bartender by hitting that thumbs up button or leaving a comment on your way out. And please hit that notification bell so you can get notified when we drop new pods like this. And Merry Christmas to everybody.
That's right. Merry Christmas. Thank y'all for your support. We appreciate y'all. Have a good night.